Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Bill, and in today's video we're going to get into a couple of things. The first thing is want to open this box here from Banks Power. It is the rear differential, the Banks rear so what we got here is the Banks rear differential for the F350. Now it came in raw aluminum. As you can see, I just went ahead and put it straight on my little rack there because we are definitely going to powder coat it. And if you haven't seen the whole series that Gale Banks did on the rear differential covers, it did a whole series about why these are the way that they are and why other ones are not very good. So I definitely wanted to get one of these, but they did not have them available for the Sterling rear ends until now. So now they've got them, they're finally shipping them. I have one here, and we're going to get this powder coated and we're going to get it on the truck. Now I also don't have a drive shaft in the truck right now. It's sitting right there on my floor. After I put the lift in, I started getting a bit of shudder on acceleration, and so I was going to put a drop bracket in there. I'm going to go ahead and put a drop bracket on the carrier bearing to lower that down. That should have got rid of the shake. However, did not work out too well. The bolts holding the carrier bearing did not want to come out, and they ended up getting cut, as well as the carrier bearing itself needed to be replaced. So I got a new one of those, and I also ordered the drop bracket. Apparently I threw it away. I guess I don't know what I did with it. I think I threw it away, so I ordered another one. Now it's just the rough country carrier bearing drop, so it's got the bolts in it, but I'm not going to try to salvage these nuts. I got new clips for that. I just found some on eBay that I ordered, so I should have those in a couple of days. Have the new clips and nuts, have the new drop bracket that hopefully I won't throw away this time, and then I got a new carrier bearing to put on there because the old carrier bearing, it's 250,000 miles on the truck. More than likely that's the original one that was on there, so went ahead to change that out, which was a fun process to get that off of there. I tried several different ways of getting that bearing off of there. I used the press, all kinds of different configurations. I don't know if you see those metal clamps down there on the floor. I was trying to use those to get under there because there wasn't a whole lot of space, so I was able to get that in there and then push down on them, which it just broke those right in half. So I ended up cutting it off, but it came out in about 50 pieces instead of just the one piece that's going back on there. While we're waiting for that, also we can go ahead get this powder coated. But first things first, I want to get all the plugs out. There's a fill plug up here. Looks like some type of small fill plug there, or drain plug, and then a full drain plug down there. So I want to get those out because I don't want to heat those. I'm imagining they have seals or O-rings on them, and I don't want to melt them. So I'll get those off of there, and then we'll start taping this up. I'm starting to think it might have been easier to have just said forget taping this and just do the first coat of powder and then sand it down. But I've already started, and this is just going to take a while. Keep cutting away at all this. Definitely need a sharp razor blade. It's very fun when it doesn't get all the way up to the edge. This tape is pretty thick, pretty easy to cut, but when it gets to little tiny edges like this, like this here, does get a little flimsy. Finished taping everything, and here's the effect that I'm going for. Like, they have the black with just the Banks showing, the raw, which is what I got, and then this one, the combo where it's all black and raw, which is the effect I'm going for, but with the Illusion Royal instead of black. So hopefully it turns out good. So I got everything taped off. Got most everything. I still got a couple edges to clean up. I have to go inside and get some new razor blades. Now, if it turns out I don't have to do any sanding, then this will have been worth it. If I have to do any sanding at all, then it would have been easier just to go ahead, coat the whole thing, and then sand it before doing the clear. But now I have a bunch of little pieces of tape that were trimmed and falling down in there that I gotta get out. Pretty deep crevices to get powder into as well. The Faraday effect, it's gonna be kind of hard to get powder to stick down in there, I think, but we will do the best we can and see what happens. Alright, so we got our little oven preheated. Finished taping up everything on here, cleaning everything up, put some foil in the holes to keep threads clean, and just waiting for it to cool down. About 100 degrees now, so let it cool down just a little bit more. But yeah, I got everything set up. We got our blue in the powder coat gun. Got everything set up. Now there is a bunch of fins on the back side of this, so it's got plenty of places to hook up the ground wire. Hopefully that'll give us a good connection and we can get some good build up down in some of these deeper crevices. We'll see. I think it's going to get kind of difficult with the clear, but we'll find out how it goes. But just waiting for this to cool down just a little bit more. Alright, you can see it's starting to gloss over now. Want it to get up to 355. Not quite there yet, but we put it in at 400. I actually bumped this up to 450 because it wasn't getting hot enough inside. So basically you want to put the part in at 400 to bring the piece up to 355, and once it hits that temperature, go ahead, lower the oven down to 355 and bake it at that temperature for 18 minutes. Alright, our part finally got up to temperature, so now set the timer for 18 minutes, so let it bake. Got the oven heating back up. We got our piece all cooled down. I went ahead and ran the sander over there a little bit just to clean up the edges. Some of the edges were a little rough, but for the most part, the tape worked out good. I did end up saying, like I said, just clean up a couple of the sharper edges there. And I mean, I think we're good to go now. And go ahead, get this connected. Right there on the raw aluminum, it's sticking really good, but here over top, it's a little harder to get it to lay on top of the color than it is. There's a bit of insulation on the rest of that where the other layer powder coating is. All right, so we got that in the oven now. So same thing, we need to bring the piece back up to 375 this time and keep it there for 18 minutes and we should be good to go. Somehow it looks like the color crept up into the clear around the edges some. We got a few spots that didn't have quite enough clear on it. I don't know if we can resand that and then do another clear coat, or if we have to live with that. I'll let it dry and see how it looks. Alright, so we don't have any RTV to worry about. Comes with this little ring, just press into the valley, this O-ring, and then comes with all the bolts. Just bolt it up to the rear of the truck. And it's that simple. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this bolted up and see how it fits. All right, so here we are under the truck. We've got it installed. Looks awesome, I think. There, like I said, when I pulled it out of the oven, there was a couple of spots along the bottom that weren't super smooth, but I mean, now that it's dried, it looks all right, and it's kind of tucked underneath, so it looks all right. I think it came out pretty awesome, and we are all set now. We have the Banks rear differential cover on there. Got some brand new Amsoil oil in there. We should be good to go with this rear diff now. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Or so far, I haven't really driven the truck yet because, well, my drive shaft's still sitting here. I did get the new bearing on. I'm just waiting on the new nuts so I can reinstall the carrier bearing and reinstall the drive shaft, and then we can take the truck for a drive and see how things are running. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time.